Hey folks, Gary here. Happy Monday morning to you. I hope your day is starting off just fantastic. What a great day to be alive. Every day we walk with Jesus is a great day. Right, Cole? Cole's, Cole's, he's not as fond of traveling today as he has been. I don't know what's going on there, but that's okay. He'll smarten up, I'm sure. So for today's devotion or Bible reading, we're going to look at Matthew 14, 22 to 33, I believe, and around there. We're looking at Jesus walking on the water, then Peter walking on the water. And for this week, I kind of want to focus on one aspect of it. So you know the story. Jesus sends the disciples out to the other side of the lake or the sea, and they get going, and then Jesus comes later on. And the disciples, they find themselves in a storm. They're having some difficulty moving across this lake. And then they see Jesus coming, and they think he's a ghost because he's walking on the water, and that doesn't make any sense at all. So he must be a ghost. And then Peter says, hey, if it's really you, call me out. There's so many things in here I want to look at this week. One is, I think that's crazy. If I was going to if I thought something was a ghost, I'm not going to make that the criteria to see whether it's a ghost or not. Hey, if you're not a ghost, but you're actually God, have me do something that's dangerous. That seems like a crazy way to pick that out. But that's what Peter does. And of course, we know Peter gets out of the boat and walks to Jesus. And it's really amazing. But then he looks at the water and he becomes fearful and he starts to drown. He obviously can't stand on water. And he cries out to Jesus, and immediately Jesus picks him up. So I want to look at that a little bit this week, but there's something in here that I think sometimes we miss. Now, we know there's a big moral, there's a lot of morals in the story, there's a lot of teaching in the story, and one of them is keep your eyes on Jesus. When it's really, really rough and the waves are hitting and all that kind of stuff, keep your eyes on Jesus. That's where Peter messed up, as he looked at the problem more than he looked at God himself. So we get that, but I think there's something we miss in this, something that we know but we miss. As much as Peter needed to keep his eyes on Jesus, and of course he did, he needed to do that, Jesus never took his eyes off Peter. I don't know if we think about that much. Jesus never took his eyes off Peter. Although Peter took his eyes off Jesus, Jesus never took his eyes off him. Jesus knew exactly where he was. He knew exactly what kind of trouble he was into. He knew exactly what he was going to do about it. And it turned out really, really good. What I love about this passage of Scripture is when Peter says, help me. And it says, immediately, he was safe. Jesus had him by the hand and pulled him up. I think that is just phenomenal. So it's something for us to remember when we go through hard times. God's eyes are always on you. We can get distracted. God never gets distracted. He knows exactly where we are. So that's what we're going to look at this week. So I hope it's going to be a good week. Have a fantastic day from Cole and I. And be blessed. We'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.